Hi, my name is Gracie, and this is what happens when you listen to one too many of Dodie's songs. And I am mixed on my feelings about this game. If I was IGN, I would give it a 7, and I give it a 7, I guess. I don't know. If you haven't played the game, thanks for clicking on my video. But if you have played the game, I really want to hear what you have to think about it. How do you feel? How do you feel about the game? Some pretty crazy stuff happened, and the Life is Strange fandom's really pleased about it. So there's not one controversy about this game. Also, I dressed up for my Life is Strange double exposure video, and so this is my winter wear. This is my this is my Max winter wear, and I hope you enjoy it because it is 80 degrees out right now. So basically, here is all of the context that you need to understand what happened from Life is Strange 1 to Life is Strange Double Exposure. There's a girl named Max who discovers that in high school she has the power to rewind time, which caused a supernatural storm which either destroys the town and kills thousands of people, or you sacrifice your best friend Chloe to die in a senseless act of violence. So 10 years later, Chloe is dead, sort of, and Max's best friend Safi gets murdered. Max is so distraught by this that when Safi dies, she tries to rewind time, even though that caused the power. Oh my gosh, my mouth is hurting. So 10 years later, Chloe is dead, sort of, and Max's new best friend Safi gets murdered. So Max is really distraught by this, and because she's so distraught, she tries to rewind time again, even though last time she tried to rewind time, her powers destroyed the entire town of Arcadia Bay. Instead, she discovers that she can step into an alternate universe where Safi's alive, so now she must find whoever killed Safi in the dead universe and stop her violent murder in the living universe. Also, that's it, actually. I think that's everything. I'm going to tell you about what I liked in this game first, and then we'll get divisive. Hannah Tell did a fantastic job as Max in this game. There's an interview where Hannah says that she had actually semi-retired from acting, and I saw that before I played the game, and it made me worried, thinking that maybe she wouldn't have a very great performance, but she crushes it and absolutely deserves her nomination at the Game Awards. Also, the facial animations are amazing. The faces each of these characters make, oh, it's so good. It made me laugh. This game is funny. I was also so in on the mystery, who killed Safi? What is up with Gwen? Why are there Polaroids around? I was really engaged in the mechanic and switching. Why am I doing this with my hands? I also liked that there wasn't some guy who's just clearly evil. There were good guys and bad guys, and everyone is a little good guy and everyone is a little bad guy. Even Max, who is timid, can punch a guy, and it's oh, there's a choice at the very end of the game where Max can get upset. One of the options was I think that's a bad idea. And the other option was you don't get to use my power whenever you want to. And I was like, Papa, oh my gosh, she cannot use you like that. Something else I loved was you could have Max mix up which dimension she's in. So there's this character named, oh gosh, what's this character's name? Named Loretta. And you can get your Lorettas mixed up. So Max can be oh, I think I was talking to the Loretta in this universe, but actually she's talking to the Loretta in this universe, and she can get Loretta very confused and all mixed up about that. I actually got confused myself, and so there was one moment where I was oh yeah, I should ask Loretta about this, and so I asked her, and she goes, Max, what are you talking about? And I was I was dude, that's funny. That was really good. Also, Max is so purdy. What? When did her eyes get this blue? There were times when she was talking and I was what do you want from me? She's her eyes were so blue. The texture, the graphics, the art design in this game are really great. I know some people were oh, they didn't have the style of the first game, but I really liked it. I really liked what they made. Actually, this might be a really good time to discuss something I misunderstood in my True Colors video. I didn't know these games were made by 2 different studios, and I got that confused in my last video, so I wanted to clear it up now. Don't Nod Entertainment made Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange 2, and Deck 9 made Before the Storm and True Colors. So at one point, Don't Nod and Deck 9 were working simultaneously on the IP, with Before the Storm coming out in 2017 and Life is Strange 2 coming out in 2018. But then, in 2021, Don't Nod got bought by Tencent, which is also the same year True Colors was released. There's actually more going on behind the scenes, but the point of this is, Why did they name these studios almost the exact same name? Because really, that's just made to confuse me. Like, it's not just me that who got confused by this. Like, Don't Nod and Deck Nine are basically the exact same name, and I feel like I am probably kind of stupid. But other than that, I feel like this was their fault. Also, you know what? This is a flat Earth poster, by the way. I am not a flat earther, okay? I just need to clarify this just for the future. I saw it and I thought it looked really cool. And I was like, I want that. So, but if the flat earth does want to get me, like the flat earth people want to get me like a pin or something, I don't believe the earth is flat. But if I can get free merch from this, like I will always accept the free merch. Anywho, I now want to complain. I'm so warm about things. As I was playing the game, I was writing down my thoughts, and this is where we're actually going to get into spoilers. So if you care, not like this video didn't get delayed by 2 weeks. So, hopefully you've all had time in 2 weeks to play this game. So in the first hour of the game, you have to choose your love interest, which I was like, what? I don't want to choose my love interest this early in the game. Like, I don't know if I like Amanda. Like, maybe I like Amanda, maybe I don't. You only get one scene with her. And then I ended up really liking her in the second scene we got with her. And I was like, well, if you just let me decide later, I would have maybe decided I liked Amanda. So so basically I ended up choosing for Amanda to stay as friends. Like, she's like, so is this more of like a friend thing or like a date thing? And as Max, I ended up being like, a friend thing, because I didn't know what I didn't know. Second, I should put my hat back on. It's like the part of the whole outfit. Oh, I'm just so warm. Oh my goodness. Okay. If she can pull off her beanie, she can pull off my shirt. Second nitpick. There's a section in the game with character bios, which I actually really liked. But there's a whole line in the character bio that says Moses has a gun. And he's got a gun, got a gun, got a gun. Moses got a gun. And I was like, oh, Moses has a gun. Like, I mean, that makes sense. Like, the policeman dropped his gun when, like, maybe the gun's going to go off. Like, this seems really relevant. Like, I should pay attention to the fact that, like, Moses is a really sweet guy. But, sometimes in these games, the sweet guy has to do something really bad. And then, doesn't matter. It does not matter. The gun does not go off. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You put a gun in the game and you didn't make the gun go off? Like, this is like storytelling 101. I was like, there's a whole gun in this game that never goes off. Wait. Are there two guns? No. There's one gun that never goes off. And there's another gun that goes off, but it goes off in a really stupid way. And I mean stupid because at one point in the game, spoilers again, Safi shoots her mom. And I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, oh my gosh, that sucks. And then you go through all of Act 5, and and this is such a bad thing to laugh at. And you come back into Act 5, and Safi's mom is stood there like, hello, do you remember that I got shot 3 hours ago? And I'm like, oh, gosh. What is the point? What is the point? Also, Max says Safi's name so much that the name lost meaning to me, which, by the way, is called somatic satiation. And it's like, Max was running around like, Safi, have you seen Safi? Where's Safi? Safi. And I was like, stop saying her name. You don't have to say her name in every single sentence. This is such a nitpick. You don't have to say her name in every single sentence. Like, Safia Llewellyn Fayyad is a person. That is a name to me. Safi is just a sound. That her word lost all meaning to me. Like, one example in the game, I wish I had screen capture because I should not be reenacting all these things. One scene, Max runs up and is like, aren't you here about Safi? And Safi goes, oh, you still care about Safi? And I'm like, say something else. You don't have to say her name in every sentence. I know who you're talking about. This is such a nitpick, but it was really annoying. Also, I think double exposure is actually too tied to the first game. Chloe is mentioned too often. There were moments where it was perfect, where I would feel the perfect stab in my heart. Like, yes, I know I'm guilty. They mentioned her so much that I was like, Chloe's just gonna show up. Like, we're in an alternate dimension. Chloe's gonna be there. For clarification, in my playthrough, I picked that Chloe died, and so I was like, okay, I'm in another dimension. Chloe's being mentioned so often. Chloe's gonna be alive. Chloe's gonna show up. Like we're gonna step into the storm, and Chloe is gonna be right there. Chloe's gonna have to face her past, but it never happened. Which brings me to my next point. I think this game really has an issue with its story and its narrative. There were huge things that this game just did not do. There's a whole gun that does not go off. Why does it say that Moses has a gun if the gun doesn't even become relevant? There is a character named Maya Okada in the game that I think could be removed without actually changing the story at all. Maya Okada was Safi's best friend years before she knew Max. Maya ended up taking her own life when her book was stolen and published by her teacher. Safi wrote a whole book of poetry about Maya's death, but the teacher Gwen ends up getting it canceled. The professor Gwen ends up getting it canceled. These events cause Safi to use her shape-shifting skills, shape-shifting abilities, to destroy everyone's life around her. So here's the story if you remove Maya from the narrative. Safi Llewellyn Fayad gets her book taken by Lucas Colmenero, who tries to expose him in the past, but no one believes her. Safi's mother also covers up for Lucas because he was a respected author. Safi swears to ruin his life, and maybe she is even the reason why Lucas and his ex-wife break up. Then Safi writes a book re-exposing Lucas's lies, and Gwen decides it's too incendiary and gets the book deal canceled. Things would then progress through the story as they do in the game. Safi is angry at Lucas, Gwen, and her mother. And look, I know this isn't perfect, but I don't think Maya is a good enough... No, I don't think Safi is a good enough character foil to Max. I don't think Maya Okada is successful in this story. It's like Safi is supposed to be what Max could become if Max like used her powers for evil or didn't move on from Chloe's death, even though Max has not moved on from Chloe's death. And the game actually isn't about Max moving on from Chloe's death or Chloe leaving her. The game is about Max not running. And I don't think that is good. I am not reading my script. Max's baggage in this game is running. She ran from Arcadia Bay. Chloe ran away from her. And it's just, it's not Max's issue. Max's conflict in the story should not be that she needs to stop running. It should be that she's not able to let the past go and she needs to move on. And I think yeah, they were going for that, but also no, they did not land on that. I think the best example of how they should have done this would be the final choice of the game should not have been, do you or do you not side with Safi? The last choice of the game should have been Max deciding to stay in the dead world or Max deciding to stay in the living world. Can Max move on? And it ends up being like some X-Men, like Dr. Xavier, Magneto thing, where Dr. Xavier is like, you are not prioritizing human life. And Magneto is like, you have forgotten mutant life, Charles. And this is so stupid. And Dr. Xavier's like, the ends do not justify the means. This is so stupid. I gotta move on. Something else that really bothered me about this game is that I don't think. Why do I sound like I'm gonna cry? I just don't think that, like she loved me. Something about this else about the story is that I just didn't feel like my choices even mattered. I kept feeling like I had this thought in the back of my head the whole time I was playing, and that thought was, these games need to make you feel like your choices matter, even though your choices don't really matter. The game will always end with choosing to stand with Safi or not. But more than that, it just never felt like there were any consequences to anything I chose or did. In the first Life is Strange game, you can fail a dialogue and a woman falls off a roof. You can fail a dialogue and a person dies. And in Life is Strange Double Exposure, you can't fail. You can't. There's no bad thing to say. Everybody will give you the information you want. And even though Lucas hates you or Gwen hates you, nothing changes. You still learn all of the information that you need. And I get I get that the game needs to give you the information, but it's like, none of my choices felt like they even mattered. No matter what I say or do at the end of the game, Safi always shoots her mom. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? That would have been the greatest moment to have your dialogue choices actually matter. Like maybe in one playthrough, you say the wrong thing and Safi shoots her mom, and then Safi's mom ends up in the hospital. Or in another world, when you tackle Safi, it makes her really hate you, and so it's harder to have her side with you when she's in the storm. It just, none of them mattered. At the end of Life is Strange True Colors, I think you can fail the final altercation. Like at the end of True Colors, you have an argument with the big bad of the game where you must convince the town that he is the bad guy and he has done all this bad stuff. I almost lost this final interaction because of the choices I made throughout the game. I can look back on Double Exposure and feel like my choices really mattered. One example of Double Exposure, or I can look back at True Colors and feel like my choices really mattered. One example from Double Exposure where it really felt like my choices did not matter is in Chapter 4 at the very, very end. You can choose to have Safi either shapeshift into Vin to try and expose Lucas and his lies, or you can try to have her go up on stage as Safi to expose Lucas's lies. This choice doesn't even get addressed. And it seems like such a big choice. Like if whoever I choose, like maybe Lucas won't get, exposed, or maybe Safi will end up doing something, or maybe Vin will end up getting in trouble, and none of it matters. None of it is even addressed. No matter what you do, no matter if Gwen sides with you or Gwen does not side with you, no matter if Lucas likes you, no matter if Lucas doesn't like you, he will get on that stage and he will get exposed for the things that he has done. And that is stupid. That is stupid. That you cannot fail that. You know what would have happened if you could fail? Why am I being so accusatory? You don't know what happened. You know what would have happened if you failed something with Lucas in that scene? Lucas could still go up to Safi and be like, I have something I need to tell you. And she'd be like, I'm not telling you anything. And then, oh my gosh, I'm so warm. And then it's just really frustrating. It's just really frustrating. Okay, I've harped on this a really long time because I've just not even following. I'm not even reading the script. Like my computer's open and it's not even, I'm looking at it and I'm like, but none of the words on that page are coming out of my mouth right now. But I do want to get back on track, and it might be a good time to talk about the romantic subplot. So, because in my playthrough, I told Amanda I just wanted to be friends, there's this other character named Vin who is like not a good person and not a good character. And I was like, but I still romanced him. It was ridiculous. I don't know why I did it. There's like a moment where he's looking at you and he's like, I just think like I'm really actually really sensitive and deep on the inside. And like you should totally like me back. And Max looks at him and is like, I'm fucking drunk anyway. And she kisses him. And it's like, and I was like, hey, so stupid. He's stupid. Vin is not a good character. Vin is not a good character. Okay. I literally wrote in my notes while I was playing, why do I like this man? Because the game doesn't even want you to like Vin. Like, I think I got Stockholm syndromed. Okay, one thing that really strikes me before we talk about the ending that I actually did talk about earlier, but once again, I am not following the script that I wrote. Max does not even make any decision relating to wanting to stay in the living world or the dead world, which was really, really surprising to me. Like, Max doesn't even try taking Moses to living world to see his dead best friend. And I'm like, what? Okay, so here are some lingering questions with the narrative. I'm like really walking around today. Here are some lingering questions I have about the narrative. Who took all the Polaroids? Who took all the Polaroids? Like, oh, there are these collectible Polaroids that show you like windows into other dimensions. The photos are taken by Max. And at one point, Max is even like, who the hell is taking all these photos? And then she doesn't even try to figure out who is taking all these photos. Oh my gosh. It was so frustrating. I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a compelling mystery. Like, who is taking these Polaroids? Oh my gosh, Max is taking these Polaroids? Who is the Max who's taking these Polaroids? Oh, these seem to be from multiple different dimensions. How are they getting here? Is Max transporting them? None of these questions get answered. It's really frustrating. But you know what's even more frustrating? Where is the Max from Living World? Okay? The Max we play as is Dead World Max. And it's insinuated in the game that Living World Max like isn't around. So did Max create Living World? Okay? Because I don't think that's what the game is telling you, that Max created all these other dimensions. But the game is insinuating that Living World Max isn't around, which is really, really, really weird to me. Like, there's even a point in the game where Max is in Living World and runs into Max, but ends up being Safi, who's disguised as Max because she's a shapeshifter. And Max doesn't go like, oh, are you the Max from this dimension? And Safi as Max doesn't go, oh, you're the Max from the other dimension. I'm like, why? Why does that never happen? Where is Living World Max? If Safi made plans with Max at the beginning of the game, and Safi's like, what's Safi sound like? Where's Max? Like, she's more annoying than this. I gotta find like an annoying her voice. She's like, where's Max? Like, I've been waiting all day for her. Like, she said she was gonna go to lunch with me. And Moses is like, I don't know, I haven't seen Max in a while. Where is the Max from Living World? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm so warm. And I'm so upset. Something else that should have brought up more questions. They just walk into the storm, and the storm transports them to another world. What? What are you talking about right now? That doesn't make no sense. I literally, when I saw this in my playthrough, where they like take hands and they walk into the storm together, I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry? I'm sorry? Are you saying that the people of Arcadia Bay, when the tornado hit them, they like got transported into another dimension? No. No. No, 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 no. The information as the game lays out for us is like, okay, Safi's mind breaks and she shoots her mom, which was bad. And then she's like, kill me, Max. And Max is like, no. And then Max throws the gun into the storm and then walks into it. And I'm like, okay, maybe the storm is like a different storm because it was created by Safi having like a mental breakdown. But also, I think the storm was created by Max when she went back in time into the painting, the photo. And I'm just like, oh, I'm like so. I didn't like it. I did not like it. What do you mean I just walked into the storm? Okay, I gotta move on. I don't even know how long I've been talking. This is what happens when I don't read the script. Okay. Something I did really like about the game is how I'm like falling over because I feel like I'm like doing a run. Something I really liked about this game was how it presented the superpowers. Like, Safi tells the story of how she sort of willed herself into having superpowers. And if we like use this logic for the previous games, that means Max willed herself into rewinding time when she saw oh my goodness, when she saw Chloe get shot, which is really, really a cool concept. Like, it doesn't fully align with how the other games, like, how those people got their superpowers, but it's a really compelling concept. Like, Rachel Amber screaming in Life is Strange before the storm and causing that gust of wind that causes the entire forest to catch on fire because she just has so much will and determination to burn the world down. Really compelling, really an incredible story concept. Like, I hope that they stick with that. Like even in this game, Max has such an intense will and desire to see Safi again that when she tries to rewind time, she instead goes to a world where Safi is alive. And that's really compelling. I am equally intrigued and worried about what the ending of this game is setting up. Because Safi is going around like Nick Fury trying to make the Avengers, and Max is owning up to the normies rather than running, which like could be compelling in the future. And I just don't think it will be. And honestly, my biggest fear about these games is that this game doesn't sell enough copies and then they don't make the sequel, which would be really shitty. It's like, this series has been going on since 2015. Can you believe that? Like, Max is 28 in Double Exposure, which is crazy. Like, 10 years of Life is Strange. Like, come on, that's awesome. So I think I'm gonna have to probably end up playing the game a second time because I need to like discover all the endings and okay, one second. Hi. I'm Gracie from another dimension, and I just made all of the opposite choices in the playthrough that you were just watching. Oh, this is really confusing. I hope it's not confusing to you. And but I'm going to talk about my playthrough because I made all of the exact opposite choices than she did. In my playthrough, I found that choices also didn't really matter. Maybe something is easier, something is harder, but it doesn't really change much. A choice that I did feel like actually changed quite a bit was choosing to romance Amanda. Like, I mean, I don't know why someone wouldn't have chosen to romance Amanda, really. And the game really expects the player to romance Amanda, where the point where there's no really other romantic interactions after you kiss Vin, but Amanda gets scenes. Amanda, like, I think romancing Vin actually is kind of the wrong choice in the narrative. The game doesn't really respect it, and if you romance Amanda, Vin is just fine in the end. Vin actually might be better off if you don't romance him. Amanda and Max's relationship really does change based on whatever the player does. In my playthrough, Amanda ended up not being 100% sure she wants to date Max. And I was like, shoot, my choices mattered. Like, maybe there was a world where she was 100% about dating Max, or she was angry at Max, or maybe there was a world where she doesn't really care about what Max does. And I was like, why is this the one choice that actually makes a difference in the narrative? To give the game some credit, I was kind of surprised in the way that it changed regarding Gwen. I thought that Max having a positive relationship with Gwen would make her defend Max in the end of the game, but it's actually Max having sort of a negative relationship with Gwen that causes Gwen to want to help her. It's what it is, it's not perfect and you still end up revealing Lucas and his lies, but it's something. What other differences were there? I liked Loretta more. I'm not sure quite what I did different, but Loretta was softer in this playthrough. And I didn't talk about the thing. Because I chose all of the other options, Chloe was alive. And it hurt. It hurt so bad to have Chloe be alive but distant. It hurt seeing her Instagram posts and watching Victoria be chummy with her. It hurt reading Max's comments on another post and imagining her happier without Max in her life. There's a message from Chloe saying, if I say no, will you just rewind time and make it like this moment never happened? And that's real. That hurt. If my best friend could rewind time and make all the choices I did seem like they didn't really matter, that's fucked, dude. Like, I understand Chloe wanting to leave Max, and that doesn't mean it didn't hurt, but at least it wasn't like, oh, we just fell out of love, or, we had a big fight one time and then it was real. And man, I know I already said it, but I really respect all of you who sacrificed Arcadia Bay just to feel this hurt. Okay, well, the other Gracie's coming back, so I will see you. I gotta go back to my own dimension, which is pretty cool. I mean, we just elected like our first female president, and so like I hope things are going really great in your dimension. And yeah, I hope this bit was fun. See ya. Sorry about that. Yes, where was I? Okay. I took a bunch of screenshots. I got to stand over here so you can see my screenshots. I took a bunch of screenshots from my playthrough because I thought that they would be like kind of important. I'm going to talk while those roll by. So I don't feel like I got the best ending, but I think that's though because there are a lot of things I still need closure about. Like, the first 3 chapters of the game were mint. Like, they were fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat. I even took a photo of the photo that you take of Safi before she dies, because even though I knew the game was going to send me into a universe where Safi was alive, I still felt her death. I am mixed on Life is Strange double exposure. But what do you think? I want to hear other opinions than the ones in my head. I actually looked at the Reddit. Whee! Incendiary. The Reddit is crazy. The Life is Strange Reddit, you guys are crazy. I know some of you who are going to watch this are on the Reddit. I see you out there, and you guys are crazy. Like, shoosh. I loved it though. I love drama. This is why I had to leave Twitter. Too much drama and too much of me caring about it. Well, that's it. This video is really crazy. If you don't care about me rambling, you can click off. Don't even worry about it, baby. Don't even worry about it, baby girl. I mean, wait, let me try to sound more. I just want to ramble because I'm having fun. Don't even worry about it, baby girl. Okay, that's it. That has to be it. That's done. I can't, you'll never see me again. There's this comment on my Life is Strange True Colors video, and that comment is like, Could you imagine if I like opened this door though and like a body double come out of myself, like I was twins? Wouldn't that be crazy? Um, like you're like, oh, you thought that was me? Like, really cool. Um, okay. There was a video in my True Colors video that's like, Life is Strange 2 snub, and for what? And so I'll play Life is Strange 2 one day. It might not be for a while. I want to make some other videos first. I have a Star Wars Outlaws video. I might say that and then never make it. And so it'll be lost media. Actually, it won't be lost media because I have never made it. I don't know. I need to go away. Okay, bye-bye. I will see you. Wait. Let me do one clean one. I will see you again. This video is unhinged.